Hi, this is Janet from Paper and Spark at paperandspark.com, and I'm here with part 3 of the Amazon Handmade Seller Spreadsheet tutorial series. And in the first 2 videos, we covered a brief overview of what the spreadsheet does. I talked about how to import your Amazon monthly transaction reports into the spreadsheet, and we also talked about how to enter expenses into all these expense tabs on a receipt by receipt basis. So today we're going to finish out the tutorial by talking about how to use the sales tax feature on the spreadsheet, along with just a brief summary of some of the other things that the spreadsheet can do for you at the end of the month. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to cover when talking about how to use your Amazon seller spreadsheet is going to be this sales tax tab. Now, the goal of the sales tax tab is to give you just a few amounts that might make it easier for you to do your sales tax form. Now, sales tax differs by state. So what you need for your state's form and how often you need to file, it's all going to depend on your state. If you don't know a lot about state sales taxes, you aren't sure if you've got your shop set up correctly, you don't know if you need to charge sales tax, then I've got a really good post on my blog, paperandspark.com, that I would recommend you reading just to get you introduced to the topic. So assuming that you know what you're doing when it comes to sales tax, let's take a look at what this tab is going to do for you. First, we've got our 2 yellow input cells. This is where you're going to tell the spreadsheet what state you need sales tax info for. So thanks to Amazon's somewhat confusing reporting system, they are going to report states as both, look at California for example. Sometimes they say CA, sometimes they type out the word California. They don't like to be consistent. So on your input cells on this sales tax tab, I want you to type in your state both as the 2-letter abbreviation and as the actual full name of the state. So this is just you telling the spreadsheet to look for any Amazon sales that you had in that state. In my case, I'm going to look for Texas or TX to make sure it counts all my Texas sales. Next, I'm going to see how much Amazon actually collected from my customers in sales tax. Note that these amounts are only going to show up if you've actually set up your Amazon shop to charge sales tax to those customers. Amazon isn't just going to automatically do it for you. You've got to set it up yourself. And you also can't assume that these numbers are what you actually should have been collecting, because garbage in is garbage out. Amazon's only going to collect what you tell it to collect. So hopefully you're telling it right, and these are the amounts that you actually should have collected for your state. So just keep in mind that this is what Amazon has collected from your customers that are in state based on what you told it to do. So hopefully that's correct. Now onto these 2 sections here. We've got this section and then this section. Like I said, each state requires different info for their sales tax form. Most states at a minimum are going to ask you for your total in-state sales. And some states are also going to ask for just your total sales to all customers anywhere, not just in your state. So that's basically what this spreadsheet is telling you here. You've got total sales to all customers and in-state sales. Same thing here. The only difference between this section and this section is that this section up here includes shipping a customer paid you, and this section does not include shipping a customer paid you. That's because states differ on whether or not they charge sales tax on the shipping that a customer pays you. So you need to know in advance what your state's stance is on the shipping issue. Do they charge sales tax on shipping received or no? If they do charge sales tax on shipping received, then this section right here is going to have the amounts that you might need for your sales tax form. If they don't charge sales tax on shipping received, then this section is what you're going to use for your sales tax form. So depending on what your state requires will affect which amounts that are showing up here you'll use. I've just set up the spreadsheet to show you both scenarios because I want to make it as user-friendly as possible, and I'm not sure which one you're going to need, so you've got both. So since I'm in Texas, which does charge sales tax on shipping, I would use these amounts here. Just some more things to note for sales tax. If you're in a destination-based state, this tab is probably not going to be enough info for you. Destination-based states charge their sales tax based on the location of the in-state customer. It might vary by their zip code or by their county, and you're going to need more detailed info than just the in-state total that you're seeing here. If you're in an origin-based state for sales tax purposes, which means that the sales tax charge is based on where you're located, and it's way more easier to do, then you probably will find this tab to have the helpful info that you need for your sales tax form. So just remember also that this tab is summarizing your in-state sales for Amazon. If you sold on any other sales venues online or in person, like at a craft show, you need to make sure that you're tracking that info as well in order to fully complete your sales tax form. These numbers, again, just for Amazon. So we've now covered all the tabs of your Amazon Handmade Seller spreadsheet. You can go check out your monthly summary tab and review how the spreadsheet totals your sales for the month based on those imports and what you've manually entered. It also totals all your expenses for the month based on those receipts that you manually entered in the various expense tabs and any amounts you might have manually entered here. And finally, it subtracts your expenses from your revenue to tell you your net profit for the month. Now, the goal is for you to keep this spreadsheet updated consistently throughout the year. It can be a really useful tool for your business and not just for bookkeeping purposes. You can compare your sales and expenses on a month-to-month basis to see how you're trending. Like, are your sales increasing throughout the year? Are my expenses increasing or decreasing? Am I spending too much money all of a sudden? Questions like that. You can also use the data to help you budget for your business on a monthly or annual basis, and then see whether you're meeting those budget goals as you go. You can review trends from year to year if you're using the spreadsheet consistently over time. Like maybe you'll notice something like, oh, August is a consistently slow month for me, or I do really well in January. And you can use that info to budget and plan your activity accordingly. Finally, this spreadsheet will really help you at tax time at the end of the year. If you've been consistently updating as you go, then you'll have a great record of your sales and expenses to hand over to your accountant or tax preparer to do your tax return, and they'll really love you for that. I hope you found these tutorial videos to be helpful in understanding how to use your Amazon spreadsheet. Make sure to visit me at paperandspark.com, and you can check out my free resource library, especially for creative business owners. You can also sign up for our email list, which will get you access to free financial tools, tips, and coupons directly in your inbox. And finally, as you're using this spreadsheet, don't hesitate to contact me with any questions, issues, or stumbling blocks that you have along the way. Thanks and happy sales!